No, that's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry.
How you doing? How can I help?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't know. I thought what I'd do is I'd sort of tell you my story, which possibly I think doesn't exist, and then I had some.
There's a story.
Yeah.
But the story is not true. But there's a story.
Yeah, and then I had some questions, and I've also had some dawnings or revelations,
Right?
which I think probably answer my questions anyway. But I'll just start talking, and you can jump in if you think I say something really wrong. Yeah, so I guess I've always been a bit interested in the spiritual side of things since I was, I live in the UK, sort of near Manchester, Liverpool. I'm nearly going to be 50 soon. But for, a lot of my life, I've been sort of searching, trying to find the truth about everything. I think my grandmother was sort of psychic, which was interesting. I'm always sort of got a bit of a science. I like to prove things, though. I'd like to understand it. So I don't just believe things. I've got to question it. So and I had some sort of experiences with her, and then I did sort of Reiki about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that was interesting. I thought because I could feel things, so it's not like I'm just believing somebody if I can. So, and then I sort of read a few Buddhism books and things, and I think it was my uncle who did meditation or still does for many years, was talking to me about non-duality and things. So I got some books on that, and we went. There was some sort of meetings near here. There's a guy called Jeff Foster.
Jeff.
Yeah. And so I went to see a talk he did, and then I thought I got it. And I think the thing I took from it was, if the seeking prevents you from getting it, so in a way I stopped. I realized, and then I sort of I think I'm trying to work out when that was. I think it's probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was married by then, and sort of busy and quite happy with everything, and just and then we've had 2 kids since, and I think in all that time, I sort of stopped because I thought, well, it makes sense to me, the non-duality thing, and the thing I took from it is that's it, really. Don't search for it. It'll just happen, or it's happened, or I am enlightened. I just haven't quite realized it, but there's nothing you can do about it, to get it. And then cut into sort of the past few weeks. I don't know if it's because I'm turning 50 in a few weeks, but I was sort of getting tired with. I keep, drinking too much beer with the weekends and with other people, and I've got to stop doing that because I've been, trying to be healthy and everything. And then I was listening because I do a lot of audio book listening when I'm in the car or walking the dog, and there was this guy saying about stopping drinking, and then he talked about Eckhart Tolle's books, and I'd seen his books at my uncle's 20 years ago and never thought any more about it. And then so I got one of his audio books, and he started saying about at the start about how the mind is created when you're a baby, and that really sort of clicked with me. And then so I listened to his books, and he a lot of it was quite good, but then he sort of went off on a few things that didn't interest me. And then I listened to some other things, and actually, so I'd found your podcasts a year or two ago, and I sort of listened to one or two, and then didn't listen to anymore. So then I started listening to your podcasts again.
Mm.
And I sort of started the first one. I went through them all. And I really sort of, everything you said really, really resonated with me, and it made real sense. So, and I saw some sort of parallels to what you said had happened with, years ago, you sort of got it, but then you just sort of sat there. Yeah. And then, so so what I realized in the past few weeks, I tend to, because across the road is a little foresty area, and I take the dog there, and I just sort of walk about and think. And I get that there's your consciousness, yeah, and then your mind, because I don't do a lot of meditation, but when I've done it, you can sort of, I'm aware that your consciousness is sort of there. It's sort of at the back on the left for some reason. Slightly, I don't know why it's slightly to the left, but and then thoughts come up, and you can't control the thoughts. And yeah, so I get that. And then I was walking around and really trying to understand what that meant. And then the bit about, you're not in, free will, or you're not in control. Because really, I'm just at the back. The consciousness is at the sort of riding in the back of my head. And that sort of, what does that really mean? And I think it was maybe last Wednesday, actually, I was walking through the forest and thinking, as I'm taking the footsteps and, picking up a stick or touching this tree, it really is not the consciousness, because the consciousness is there, but it's silent, and all it does is observe. Yeah. So I thought, wow, I think I really get that now, that actually you just, all the thoughts and things come up, and, when you're talking to people, and and you can sort of get lost that that's actually happening when you're in the office or talking to the family and things, but that is the truth. Okay. And then I was listening to more of the things you said about time and, it's only now. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense, because there's only now. You can only experience things now. Yeah. And then I did more. I found myself getting a bit sort of sad about it all. And then, getting, I'll finish what I was going to say. So it was last Friday, because me and my wife were going to go away for the night, and I was taking the dog, and I was thinking about, if there's only now, because you sort of say how it's not a now, it's a constant now, which makes sense, because why would it be now? Would it be a second or 0.8 of a second? It's just completely arbitrary. It has to be sort of a constant now. Yeah. And then, but if there's lots of only nows, which I'll accept at this point. Yeah. I think I accept. Yeah. There's only nows. Then that must also apply to the mind. Yeah. Because you said about things like popping into existence constantly, which I've sort of read about in the sort of quantum theory, which I was sort of interested in. Not that I understand it, because nobody does, but, and I thought, well, yeah, maybe things just pop into existence constantly. And if that's true, then my mind and thoughts are doing that. So that means that, because I was following a train of thought about one of my earliest memories, and it's not quite my earliest, but I remember my mum dropping me off at the first day at school, and are leaving me at this little table with these two other boys. And I thought, well, I've got that memory. Yeah. But then I thought, well, I've got the memory of me thinking about it. And right here now, I've got the memory of the first day of school, me thinking about it lots, me walking around the field last Friday, thinking about it, the memory of me planning, telling you about it. And none of it is real. It's all just happened now.
Good.
And then I thought, oh, shit. But then at that point, I was sort of left to myself and thought, is that it? Is that what it all means? And then on Friday, I was all sort of buzzing, and then on Saturday, I didn't tell anybody about this because they think I'm insane. And then I sort of come down and think that can't be true. And no offense, you're probably a lunatic, and But then I listened to a bit of your book again, and I thought it does make sense, but I've almost got it, but I'm constantly worried that it's my mind that's got it and latched onto it, and which is why I'm not in this state of bliss that you appear to be in.
Hey, that's not.
Then I thought I'd
ask my partner if I'm in a constant state of bliss.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if any of that was actually true. Or I think I wanted to. Was that? Is that right, or have I just gone off down a rabbit hole of craziness that?
Yeah. See, what you're saying is half correct in that when you said, is it my mind that's got this? The mind that's latched a hold of this. Yeah. And the way to know that is whether or not you're still accepting on some level now, instead of now. No beginning, no end. When does one now finish and another one begin? Yeah. So the only way a dualistic mind could even grasp a concept of now would be in increments. Now, because the mind is dualistic. There must be a start and there must be a finish, according to mind. Yeah, that's why it has so much difficulty fathoming, infinity, or no beginning and no end. Like the mind just does a brain fart right there. We can't really get it, Now, here's the question, yeah? There either is a Rob or there's not. Now, if there is a Rob, non-duality is a crock of shit. Just simply not true. Okay? Then what I encourage people to do is go looking for Rob, Mary or Bill or whatever your name is, right? Go looking for that character. And what do you discover? The identification that takes place is with mind and with body, the body-mind. Okay, we either think we're our thoughts, or even worse, that I'm the thinker, yeah, or I am the body, and I have free will, and I'm doing this. Terence is doing this. Yeah, look, I'm waving my hand. Of course, I've got free will. Look what I'm doing. Yeah. Now, there's something you mentioned something earlier about. I'll paraphrase and correct me if I'm wrong. That thoughts come into existence when you're a baby.
No.
Good. Tell me.
No, I think what he was saying is that, you know, when you're a baby, you have no thought. It's
Correct.
the start of language. Yeah.
Correct.
When you start labeling things and you
Correct.
speak,
When you
know,
start to learn to speak, when you start to learn language.
Do you want an ice cream? It's my ice cream, and then you start having me.
Good.
And this is
Good.
yeah.
Good.
So yeah.
And prior to that, there's no Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now here's what occurs, and we don't realize it, is that somewhere back then, as a young toddler, 18 months old, 2 years of age, it's not an exact number, but somewhere around then, when we start to learn language, when we literally start to speak, then thoughts start to formulate in a language, depending on what country you're born in, right? It might be Arabic, it might be English, it might be French, whatever, right? Language starts to formulate, yeah? And at some point, mind, not that there is one, so forgive me, right? You're going to have to forgive some of the language that I use, but I'm trying to point here. Yeah? At some point, mind, or thoughts rather, claims ownership of this sense of presence, this sense of beingness, this consciousness, this awareness, the fact that we can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. Yeah? Mind claims this and starts calling it me. Yeah? And what I'm saying is this presence, this consciousness, this awareness, the fact that we can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell is not the character, Rob, that mind started to create from the moment that you could learn to speak and all the conditioning that you receive on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Which adds up to, as you said earlier, my story.
Yes.
And everyone's got a big story.
Yeah.
Now, if you see, I've never professed this to be a spiritual path at all. I just don't. Yeah. For me, it's a fact-finding mission.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go look, because I liked what you said at the beginning. Your science and empirical evidence, and great. Yeah. So, in relation to Rob, what is that character, Rob? What is it? My question, really, given what I've just said, is: can Rob see? Can Rob hear? Is it Rob that's hearing me right now? Is it Rob that's seeing me right now?
Yeah. And it's my consciousness that is seeing and hearing you.
Well, hold on, right there. Let's be careful of the language we use. My consciousness? That sounds like two.
Okay.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. It's
whose consciousness?
Is that a better?
Say that again.
The consciousness.
Sure.
The thing that's in.
Sure. But are you still experiencing it like it's my consciousness? Let's not get the words right. What's your actual experience? Is the experience still, it's my consciousness?
Maybe it is, yeah.
Yeah. Which means two, doesn't it? Good. So there's your indication that it's mind, which is the only thing that's dualistic, by the way. Yeah. It's claiming ownership of consciousness. It's my consciousness. Now, if you are consciousness itself, then the idea of it being my consciousness goes out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Unless we're taking consciousness to be a thing. that I can possess, that I can own. And is it?
No.
You're conscious right now, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah. Now, other than that, there's the mind that steps in and says, it's my consciousness. Only the mind that says that, correct? Or only thoughts that says that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you need to claim it to be conscious?
It just happens, so it's, yeah.
You just are. Yeah. But I'm just trying to point out what the mind does.
Mm-hmm.
It claims everything. It's my body. It's my feeling. They're my thoughts. Yeah. My partner, my job, my car, my this, my that. Yeah. It's designed to do that. It's not faulty. It's designed to do that. Imagine, if you will, what would the experience be like if, you know, from this point forward, now, you experience zero thoughts for the rest of your life? What would that experience be like?
Be strange, but
you wouldn't even know it was strange.
Yes, of course you wouldn't know. You'd just be sitting in silence. So
good. I could also say, see, because I always refer to the mind as the sixth sense. Yeah, I could also say, what would it be like if at the moment I click my fingers, yes, your vision disappears. Now you're blind for the rest of your life. Yeah. You'd be stumbling around in the dark, not knowing what the where you are, what's going on. Yeah. So the mind's not the enemy. We need it, or it is needed to exist here. You to get up and go to work and look after your kids and blah 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 blah. Yeah. So it's a very good tool, as is vision and hearing. Good tool. Yeah. Makes a shit master. Yeah. Which is, you know, if you look at it, you got no control over it. 1 minute it's saying you're a good person, the next minute it's saying you're a shit person. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can see, the whole idea of this approach, Rob, is to not to come to discover what you are, it's to come to discover what you're not.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the belief is in what we're not. That's what we believe, what we're not. Yeah. Now, what would be the point of what we're not trying to discover what we are? Could what we're not discover what we are? What would be the point of what we're not trying to discover what we are?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So you know, if your memory disappears completely, like amnesia, where's Rob now? I don't know if you've seen people online that have experienced amnesia. Yeah. They don't know who they are. Literally. Don't know who their parents are. They don't know what nationality they are. They don't know where they were born. They don't know what school they've gone to. They don't know what profession they've ever had. They just don't know. Now, if you experience that, would you still be Rob?
Guess not. No.
No, because Rob is dependent on the story, isn't it? The memory. Yeah. When I went looking for, you know, Terry, right? When I went looking for that, what I discovered was, holy shit, all I am is memory. I am memory. Surely I'm more than that. that can't just be the end of it. I am memory. Yeah? Because in the absence of memory, there's something still here.
Yeah.
Right? If all your thoughts stopped right now, it's not like you fall off the chair dead.
No.
Still be sitting there. The question is, who would be sitting there? Yeah. Would it be Rob still sitting there?
No.
No. There'd be presence, consciousness, awareness, capacity to see, hear, taste, touch, smell. If anything, if you want to sort of try and label what the experience would be like, it would just be internal silence. Just zero thoughts. No thoughts happening. And just present. Can you imagine what your senses would do in the absence of that inner noise? You have to try and imagine it.
But they'd expand, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Imagine all the stuff you could now hear because the internal noise had stopped. Yeah. No longer labeling when seeing. No longer labeling. Yeah. So tell me why Rob can't see.
It's because I won't say I think it's because the mind is still in the way, or believing that. I think it's what you said at the beginning. I know how to. I think I know how to answer the question sort of intellectually, but
we'll have a crack.
I suspect my mind is still. I don't know if getting in the way is the right.
It's okay. It's all right. Look. It's the thing with this is it's really fucking simple, and we keep overthinking it. Yeah, we've identified that if you experienced amnesia, Rob disappears, but there's still seeing, is there not?
Yeah.
Good. So the question is, can Rob see?
No.
Because Rob disappears.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can we also agree that Rob is a construct of thoughts?
Yeah.
We've just identified that, correct?
Yeah.
Good. Can a thought see?
No.
It can't. I'm feeling a but. That's it, better to be a but then.
No, but it's one of my. But it. All right, it's one of my questions. Because, but it responds in a way, or is that just thoughts happening? Because obviously, if I say
thoughts are creating everything.
Yeah. So
and then the thoughts respond to what it's creating.
Yeah.
See,
because we're having this conversation, so I'm, it's not.
But
our thoughts are sparking off each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But my question right there would be, am I who you think I am?
Well, I'm talking to your thoughts or your mind in a way.
It's not the question. Am I who you think I am?
No.
Be absurd. I know full well you're not who I think you are. Yeah. So I'm creating you. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're creating me.
Mm.
God only knows what thoughts you've got going on in there in relation to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is I am none of that.
Mm.
None of that.
Mm.
Yeah. But thoughts do the same with everything else.
Mm.
Yeah. Like there's a mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that without a label?
Mm.
If we remove the label mobile phone, now what is it?
Just a thing.
Good. Now let's remove that label thing. Now what is it?
It's hard to say, isn't it, without using a word, but
Correct.
it just is.
Is it separate from anything? Only
no.
if the mind says so.
Yeah.
Remember,
because
this teaching is non-dual, which means not two.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm.
If there's not two, yeah, then it's one.
Mm-hmm.
Only a dualistic thought steps in and says otherwise.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's floating around there in space and it's not connected to your hand, Terry.
Mm.
So there's the phone and there's your hand.
Mm.
It says this.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's because the alternative then is that it's just everything.
That sounds like non-duality to me.
Hmm.
Good. And what is it that says otherwise? That it's not just everything?
The words in my mind. Yeah.
That's all.
Hmm.
That's all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look around the room. Just look from right to left. Notice things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now come back to me. What did the seeing say about anything? If you want to do it again, do it again. What does the seeing say about anything?
The seeing doesn't say anything.
It doesn't, does it?
No, it's the mind. Or the other way I think about it, if there's a word involved, it's the mind, basically.
Correct. If there's a label, a word, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's
listen. So I say there's 6 senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go through the 5 senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. Let's go through them yourself now. What do they say about anything?
They don't, because there's no words.
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct. They're a non-dual experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come back to the fact that you're conscious. What does it say about anything?
It doesn't. It's just silently observing.
Sometimes, I say to people, okay, you've been on the non-dual path for a while, great. And I'll bet there's a whole lot you could tell me about non-duality. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about duality? And more often than not, people just sit there and go, like they've never even considered it.
Yeah, it's...
What's needed for duality to seemingly exist?
It's the label your mind's putting on things.
Yeah. Thoughts. Now, I don't know if you've tried to imagine, or you might have even experienced it, but in the complete absence of thoughts, when thoughts completely collapse, absolute inner silence, zero thoughts, where's duality now?
Yeah.
See, it's the mind, duality, duality, that creates a me and a you, or a you and a me. Yeah. Which is fine. It's all right. It's all right as a tool. That's okay. Yeah. But when it creates a me, and then there's big story about a me, and the narrating just goes on all fucking day long about a me. Yeah, it seems to be problematic. Yeah, thoughts like, "What's wrong with me? Fuck, you know, why can't I get this? How come I sort of get it and I don't get it, and I half get it, and I what like, yeah, you know, that everyone's trying to get. Yeah, where do you think you'd be when it was got?"
Well, I'd still be where I was before I got it.
Hello. Right here. You can't be anywhere else other than now. Yeah. The trick, you know, is when you can fully, in an absolute sense, know what the me is, the truth of that sets you free. Then you're left with what you are. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, conscious and aware. And this is not the me experience. Me can't experience anything. It can't feel. The me can't feel. Is there feeling? Yes. Is it the me having a feeling? No.
So that was one of the things that was confusing me, you know, the feelings. So
let's just break it down for a second, yeah? Can we agree that a feeling is an energy?
Yeah.
Some sort of a vibration, isn't it? Yeah, there's an energy there, yeah? Okay. What does the energy say about anything?
Nothing. It's your when your mind labels it something.
Makes up a story about an energy, and then the mind believes the story it's made up about the energy. Oh, I'm feeling anxiety. It's an energy. What the fuck? It's an energy.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, but then the mind says, oh, but anxiety is not a good thing to experience. This is bad. This is not good. Says this. The fucking energy. It's a big storyteller. The mind. It's a big storyteller. It's great. It's incredible. It creates the, like, you know, if I was to ask you, is there a universe out there? You would say yes. You know, and if I was to ask you, you know, is the universe full of content? You would say yes. Yeah. And I'm saying the mind's putting all that there.
Yeah.
What is it without that? What universe? What anything without that? Yeah. Can we agree that to have any experience, we must first be conscious Can we agree on that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because if you're unconscious, it's lights out, there's no experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're conscious of the mind, correct? You're conscious of thoughts. You hear them all day long.
Yeah.
Right? So you're conscious of thoughts. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Flip that. Is the mind conscious of this that's conscious of it?
No, it's just words.
It's just that.
Mm.
So when the mind says, yeah, I'm aware of a tree, is that true?
No.
It's not, is it?
No.
It's made up.
Mm-hmm.
What tree without a label?
Yeah. I get it, I think.
I know you do. You do. That,
but
you're still struggling with. Is it Rob that's aware of feelings? Is it Rob that's aware of the mind? Or is it just pure consciousness? You're still of the belief it's Rob. Or rather, mind is of the belief it's Rob.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what do I do next then?
Are you conscious right now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're conscious of me sitting here?
Yeah.
You're conscious of a feeling in the body right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Conscious of thoughts? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. What can you tell me about consciousness?
But it's just there.
It's a rhetorical question.
Oh, all right.
I'm not really expecting an answer. But you said, what do I do now? Well,
you just sit with this.
yeah. What should come up for you when you can absolutely see what you're not, what you're left with is, what's this? You're not even, and you're not expecting an answer. It's a jaw-dropping, what's this? Stay there. Stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay there. And from there, yep, you'll notice the mind kicking in and going, oh, am I doing it right? Or is this right? Just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
You're no longer interested in mind. Okay? Your only interest now is, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing full well, any answer from here is going to be wrong in relation to what's this, because it'll be a label, right? Sit with this. If if you want to call it meditation, you can call it meditation. But if you're going to call it meditation, what I would ask you to do is sit with the meditator. Consciousness. Just this. Most people get into meditation, they're trying to stop the mind, or they're trying to quieten the mind down, or but there's still, whilst they're doing that, there's still a belief there's a person there meditating. And me there meditating. And me can't meditate. It's not conscious and it's not aware. Unless you're telling me a thought is conscious. And you just had a look.
No, it's not.
And saw it's not. Yeah. If it was, you'd be in dire straits, because there'd be two seats of consciousness that you'd be experiencing. One that's conscious of the mind, and then the mind that's conscious of this, that's conscious of it, and you'd be like,
yeah.
but that's not true. There's one seat. There's one point, if you want to call it point, seat, place, yeah, of consciousness that you experience. You know, it's another way I can. Let me just do this with you. It might help, yeah. It's kind of an exercise, yeah. So try, if you can, not to challenge it too much with what I'm about to say, all right? Because it could be challenged. But there's a beginning point to this exercise and an end point to this exercise. And I want to start you from the beginning and then take you to the end. Okay. Now, some way between the beginning and the end, your mind's going to start asking questions. Yeah. And I'm just asking you to just try and pause that and just track with me. All right. Okay. So the basic human experience is there are things out there, correct? That's the basic human experience. Yeah. Bottle of water, and laptop, and you and me, and trees and the moon and the stars. And there are things. Correct? Okay. What are those things dependent on to be? It's not a trick question at all.
Nothing.
Nothing. When you say nothing, what's your definition of nothing?
They'd be the, if there was a label or not, they'd be there.
For things to exist, what must be prior?
Well,
Stay out there in the world, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about consciousness or awareness or anything, just out there in the world, yeah? If you remove something, things would disappear. What would that be?
You've lost me now. If I was to remove remove my mouse. Sorry, can you explain again? Ask a question again, maybe?
I will, yeah. All things are dependent on something to be able to take a position. And if you remove that something, there'd be no things. What is the something I'm referring to?
Is it the observer of it? Or
I'm talking out there in the world, out there.
I'm probably overthinking it, aren't I?
Yeah. What's the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning? First thing.
My room.
Nope.
But my.
It's not. It wasn't a good question to ask you, actually. What's the first thing you see?
What my. Good question, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the inside of your eyes, maybe. I don't know.
Let's say, I don't know, I'll make this up, yeah? When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is your bedside table. Yeah. What do you see prior to that?
Nothing.
Good. What do you call that? What do we call that?
The nothing.
Yeah, we call it something else.
Do we?
Yep, we do. We do.
I'm struggling for the word, then, if we do.
Yeah. When you get it, you'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, okay, right. But I don't want to give it to you.
What is my bit?
You're aware of the Big Bang, yeah?
Yeah.
Prior to the Big Bang, what was there?
Well, yeah.
Absence of everything. That's probably about as close as we could get to it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Big Bang happened. What came into being?
Everything.
Yeah. And what did the everything, what was it contained in?
Well, the universe. Or
good. What do we call that?
we just don't want another word for the universe, but
let's say, okay. There's my hand there,
and
there's my hand there, correct? Good. What's between both of those hands?
Space.
Hello.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Good. Now,
I was overthinking it.
You were. I know. We always do, right? So can we at least agree in principle, in principle, that for things to exist, there must be space. Because if you remove the space, there's nowhere for a thing to exist.
Good. Yes.
Yep, just in principle, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've determined that things are dependent upon or contingent upon space, correct?
Yes.
Good. What's space contingent upon?
Don't know.
Now we're coming back to your own direct experience, your direct experience. Again, if you removed it, space and things disappear. There are no longer space or things. What would that be?
There just wouldn't be anything.
You need to be conscious for space and things to be?
Yeah.
From your own direct experience. When you're unconscious, perhaps sedated, because you're having an operation or whatever, what happens to space and things? In your direct experience,
Well, they're not there.
They disappear.
Yeah.
Good. So now my next question, what is consciousness dependent on? Are you conscious right now? Good. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awareness. Now, let me just show you something. Where we exist as an apparent person, as an apparent me, is we exist in this realm, if you like, of being conscious of things. Conscious of things. We know fuck all, mostly, about consciousness itself. And the reason we know fuck all about consciousness itself is because we believe it's me that's conscious. And we never look there until we start to look there and we discover, holy shit, there is no me. It's not a me that's conscious. There is just consciousness. Yeah. And what can you tell me about consciousness? For you to focus only on consciousness, not conscious of, but just consciousness itself, I would be asking you to be aware of consciousness only. Still sounds like two, doesn't it? Being aware of consciousness. Yeah. That's the last point of two. Being conscious of, that's where infinity begins. Do you understand? Infinite. Being conscious of. Yeah. No beginning, no end. Just off it goes. Yeah. Conscious of. But being aware of consciousness only is where I'm asking you to sit. And something happens there after a little while, however long, doesn't matter. But because it still sounds like two. Being aware of consciousness, doesn't it? Still sounds like two. Yeah. But being aware of, it's a pointer. Being aware of consciousness, it's a pointer. Yeah. It's asking you to sit with just this, be with just this. You sit with that long enough, an interesting thing happens. This being aware of consciousness, the two of them merge into one. There was never a time where you could be aware of consciousness. But it breaks, it stops the infinite conscious of to just one. Being conscious, aware of consciousness only. Not what consciousness is conscious of, which is the whole universe. Just consciousness itself. Do you understand?
I think so.
You're conscious right now?
Yeah.
Good. What could you tell me about it? What do you know of it? Does it have a shape, a form, a boundary, a location, a color?
No, nothing.
Right. Stay with the nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. And something remarkable is revealed. Yeah. For that revelation or that revealing, if you like, my pointer to you is just sit with being aware of consciousness. Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, the apparent being aware of consciousness merge. And there's just this. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Listen to the end of this video, if not all of it, but certainly listen to the end of this little thing that I just took you through. You know, if you go through it enough times, it'll just go click, 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 click. You know, you go, okay, I'm here. I'm here now. Here. Now, what's this? Yeah. And you'll notice the mind. It'll, you know. But if you turn the attention away, I have to say it like that. If you turn the attention away from the mind and just bring it back to consciousness all the time, it's a 180-degree turnaround to what we ordinarily do as a person. We're always conscious of, always. Yeah, always. Feeling in the body, whatever. Thoughts, conscious of. Yeah. And I'm trying to get you back to consciousness itself. Yeah. But it's difficult to get back there if you still believe that it's me that's conscious. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You won't go there. You won't go there. Yeah. So come to see there is no me. And everything other than the fact that I am, or consciousness, if you want to give it that label, or still labels, right? Anything other than that is the mind telling a story. anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I get that.
Anything other than just staying with this is going to be the mind telling a story. And it might even tell a story about this, right?
Yes.
And
sure
this,
it does. Yes.
it can't experience this.
Mm.
That's why it says, oh, why can't I get it? It can never get it. That's why you teachers say, the me's never going to get this. You're never going to get this. Yeah? So if the me can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, and there's seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling being experienced, who or what's that? That's where I was leading you before. What's this? Oh. Conscious awareness, a couple of labels I know, but yeah, just stay there. All the division stops, separation stops, because it's only that divides. It's only that that divides. That's why it's a pertinent question to ask. Okay, yeah, I hear you know a bit about non-duality. Tell me what you know about duality. People just look at me dumbfounded, like they've never been asked that question before. You know, and all you discover is that is dualistic is this. That's how it operates. Can't operate any other way. That's its nature to do that. What it's saying and blah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, use it as a tool. It gets used as a tool. Yeah. Oh, I've got an appointment in 5 minutes. I better go. Like, okay, it's a tool. Yeah. But it's a shit when it's saying I'm useless, I'm no good, I'm hopeless. What's wrong with me? Or what's wrong with them? They're hopeless. You know. You with me?
Yeah. Good.
I think it'll help you. That thing, space, consciousness, awareness. That if you can really grasp that, just conceptually grasp it, yeah. See what I'm pointing to by saying that, and that, yeah. And then just arrive. Just arrive. I mean, you're never not here, right? But sit here with this. You experience peace, a calmness, an inner silence. Yeah. Because inner silence is just the absence of that going. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Now, what's that silence? Any more questions? For the time being. Anything coming up? And if it is, notice it's just the mind. Yeah. I'm not saying don't ask, but I'm just saying notice. Just notice. Yeah. And so, that functions and operates dualistically can never know non-duality. It can't experience it. It's dual. By nature, it's dual. It's in the absence of it that the non-dual is experienced. But it's not the dual that experiences the non-dual. It's in the absence of the dual that the non-dual is experienced. And the me character is dualistic, 100%. 100%. No ifs or buts about it. The me character. The Rob, the Terry, the Mary, Bill, Jane, whoever. It's a dualistic character. Dualistic. Born, one day it'll die, a certain age. I'm in or I'm here, and then I'm over there. It's dualistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is you're not that.
Mm.
Yeah. You're here.
Mm. Yes.
Got to stop believing it. But the way to do that is come to see there's no me.
Mm.
It's only mind that's creating everything.
Mm-hmm.
Creates a me, creates a you, this or that, a here or there. Your mind creates your partner, your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can start to see that your partner is not who you think she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd that we even believe that. Like, we believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You're who I think you are.
Mm-hmm.
What? You know, and we wonder why, you know, relationships have difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Both wrong. Neither is who we think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That they are is this presence, this consciousness, this awareness, this here-ness, this aliveness.
Mm.
Here is where we are.
Mm.
Yeah. We're seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, you don't hear many teachers say this, but I do. And that is, there is no me, Robert, but there's definitely a you.
Mm.
I'm not defining what that you is. Did you notice? I'm not saying a you as a person or a body, or I'm not. Yeah, but you hear me right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see me right now.
Mm.
You are aware of me right now.
Mm.
Yeah, you. Because the me can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, and it's not conscious and aware. So there's got to be a you.
Mm.
There's nothing like a me character.
Mm.
Not dualistic. There's a you. You can't sit there with a straight face and say, I am not.
Mm.
You should have to be there to say, I am not.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's true we're not the me. That's true. Because that's created by the mind only. Yeah. But there's something here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And the mistake is that we've been taking this that is here to be the me. Now come to see why that can't be. Why that can't be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do the empirical evidence. Do like whatever you need to do. Use truth, fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd.
Mm.
It's truly absurd.
Mm.
I've got to go. You okay?
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for that. I will.
It's a pleasure. Please stay in touch. Let me know how you're going.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how you're going, because it's special when you kind of,
Mm-hmm.
if you can land here, which is where I'm trying to get you to land. Not that here is a location, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
See our language.
Mm.
You know, but if you can, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And the only thing you'll have to contend with when you're here is just this going, just turn away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you're aware of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Now do a 180-degree turnaround and start to become aware of this consciousness only.